Friends, family, fans, what the hell is going on with you today? Welcome back to another episode of Back 9 Bets, episode 42. Stalling for Scottie. Not Scott Stallings, stalling for Scottie. We'll get into that. The New York Jets are 6-3. Congratulations to them taking down the best team in the NFL, the Buffalo goddamn Bills. I'm a big fan of the goddamn Jets. I've been a fan of the goddamn Jets, and the goddamn Jets are a goddamn good team right now. Life is good in Jetland. Got a bye week going on. Can celebrate this win for 2 straight weeks until we go and beat the Patriots in Foxborough. Go to 7-3. We'll see how that works out. But till then, cheers to you. Grab a beer. Celebrate the Jets win with me. It better be a Keystone. We know that that's the best beer you can find. And this week, we've got ourselves the Houston Open. It's a golf tournament in Texas. Scottie Scheffler, as you know, is a big Longhorn fan. Was he even a graduate from the Longhorn University, Texas? So we'll see what he can get up to this week. He's our absolute favorite. That's why the podcast is named after him. Blah-de-blah. It's going to be a chilled podcast. We're focusing on bets. We've got the DFS show tomorrow. So I'm going to float a few DFS ideas out there, but I really haven't taken a deep dive into the guys scrounged around where it matters most, where we did really well last week. So we picked players really well, but our DFS lineups somehow lost money, even though we got half of our lineups through for 6 for 6. It was one of those weeks. Anywho, we are going to Memorial Park Golf Course in Houston, Texas. It's only been played there twice. It's a very difficult golf course. So this is why we like Scottie. Scottie absolutely dominates those difficult tracks. Scottie absolutely plays well in Texas. Scottie about broke the course record on Sunday out in Mexico. Finished third after starting Sunday like outside the top 30. Guy shot a 60 goddamn 3. It was very, very impressive. 62, 63. I don't know what the hell he shot, but it was good. Now we go to a course that requires some seriously good short game. From what we can see of the last 2 playings of this event, 16% increase in short game correlation to success at this venue, which is a lot. You don't typically see that big of a jump. It is only 2 years. And in 2021, it was actually just above tour average. So we've got that going for us. It still was above tour average. So short game stuff is going to be critical. And we've got some short game stats broken out into fringe, rough, and sand. At this venue, if you go and take a look at the flyover, or you go look at some highlights from a few years ago when Brooks Koepka was out there playing, he was barely ever in a bunker. Anytime he ever missed a green, he was chipping from like a collection tight lied area or some rough. So those are basically the 2 main lies you're going to be finding. There's 1 or 2 bunkers on a hole here and there. Bunkers are not the main defense at this golf course, so take that for what it's worth. We want good drivers of the golf ball, even though this isn't predicted in the stats. The distance and accuracy stats are average for tour. So we really want guys that can either get in the fairway or hit it a far country mile. Ideally, we want very good drivers of the golf ball, which is why we want Scottie going on. And that's kind of just the main reason we dig in this week. Approach play, always king. You know, you can see it's got the highest correlation you can find out of all these metrics here. And it's just about tour average over the last 2 years. So nothing too crazy. But we're going to go with exceptional ball strikers who have got a tidy touch around the greens, because fairways are hit at about 50% clip, which is about 7% less than, or 55% or something like that. It's 7% less than tour average. And greens are hit like 3 or 4% less. So these greens are tough. These greens are tough to hit. The fairways are tough to hit. And this golf course is long. It is quite long. So we've got a lot going on there with the golf course's specs. Let's check the proximity numbers, I don't know why we're just rambling on through here, but it just looks like we took 2021 and 2022 to get ourselves these proximity numbers, and the majority of the shots are going to be coming from 125 to 225. That's 4 buckets. It's a lot of buckets. It's what's going on. I don't know why I've got. There we go. Okay, there we go. That was bothering me. Sorry about that. We have got ourselves 125 to 225 proximity buckets. It's going to be where we want to find our best golfers on approach from that range. And that's where they're going to find the majority of their shots. It's a long golf course. We've seen, if you go and check my article, the stat buffet, we've got the holes broken out there. You can see there's like 4 par 5s. There's 3 par 5s and 4 par 4s that are over 490 yards. So we're going to dial up the par 5 scoring. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We've got 15% for par 5 scoring. We've got 10% baseline approach, 5% for the last 2023 rounds that they've played in since. We've got the proximity buckets divvied up here to make all the different proximity numbers make sense, prorated per our distribution that we just went through. And then we've got putting for 1% inside 5 feet. We got 4% from 5 to 15 feet. We got 5% putting on Bermuda and 5% putting recently this year. Then we've got, in order to account for a little bit of the Corn Ferry Tour guys that are in this field, we're still going to go with 10% scrambling, which is a stat that you can merge from the 2 different tours. And speaking of scrambling, let's get back into rotoballer.com /radio, where you can get all of our tools, you can get all of our news articles, you can get all of our assistance, all the Slack channels, the whole shebang at rotoballer.com /radio. Get yourself 50% off there. Use code MANIAC for another 10% off. There's still a few more golf tournaments to go on, folks. Go get yourself some stuff. If you're not a big believer in optimizers and things like that, check it out. It's very affordable. You can get it for a week if you even want. And if not, comment on the video after the show. Go grab yourself. We'll pick up a lucky winner. We dished out a free membership to someone already on the show, so go grab yourself a free membership if you can. Comment in the YouTube video what your favorite bet is from the podcast today, and we will get you hooked up if you are the lucky chosen one. Back to back, the scrambling. We've got 10% scrambling. We've got 5% off the tee, just strokes gained off the tee in general. 5% distance, 5% good drives gained, and 5% off the tee this year. So off the tee this year is typically going to incorporate any of the Corn Ferry Tour guys that have played this year, which is kind of what we're trying to do, is level the model out so that we can get everyone on the same level playing field. With these Corn Ferry Tour guys, it's a pretty much of a nightmare. Now, let's get into it. As you can see, a part of the reason why, if you are watching on YouTube, you can see exactly what's going on here. We've got a sexy-ass new-looking model. It's nice and tidy. It's got big-ass headings. You can see exactly what the stats are. They ranked. It's not just random numbers that don't make any sense. We've got numbers that make sense here now. We've got rankings. We've got recent performances. We've got comp courses. We've got history. We've got performances on medium courses, performances on hard courses. This course is going to be classified as a hard golf course. It's going to most likely result in everybody except for Scottie Scheffler shooting -10 or worse. I think if he can get himself to like -12, -13, it stands a really good chance of doing the damage that we're looking for at this venue. So before I lose all of you, 9 minutes into the podcast, Scottie Scheffler is number 1 in the model. He's number 1 in our hearts, and he's 5.5 to 1 to win the goddamn golf tournament. I was very disappointed when those odds came out. I was going to try and pounce on an 8 to 1. I think he's going to win this event. He's just rounding into form. He plays difficult golf courses far too well. His biggest issue is he's been struggling to make those birdie birds because the putter hasn't been behaving as well as it should. It seems like it kind of rebounded a little bit out in Mexico. But even if it didn't rebound all the way, it should be heading in the right direction slightly. He's going to be putting on Texas greens, which I don't know if that's got to do with anything, but it can only help. And we're going to a golf course that's going to reward exceptional ball strikers. If you can ball strike it to death and just keep rattling off pars, capitalizing on par fives, I think you're going to do just fine. I think Scottie made like 3 or 4 bogeys the whole week. I mean, it was a very, very impressive performance from him in Mexico. He just couldn't go low. He wasn't making many big mistakes. The driver for him is an absolute weapon. If you look in this field this year, he leads the field in strokes gained off the tee. He also leads the field in strokes gained on medium courses, which we have in here, because any of the if you're watching on YouTube, any of the stuff that's highlighted blue is a mix between Corn Ferry stuff and PGA Tour. Like medium golf course difficulty is a lot of the courses they played. Medium and easy on the Corn Ferry Tour were the 2 main courses. They hardly played any hard courses. And that's why we've got both of them in here. Because if there's a Corn Ferry Tour guy that we like, we want to see how he played on medium courses because it's closer to hard than easier course. Blah, blah, blah. We are rambling. But yes, accuracy, distance, good drives gained, fairways, greening regulation, rough greening regulation, and scrambling, putting average, bogey avoidance, par 5 scoring. Those are all pretty much apples to apples type stats that we've used to compare Corn Ferry Tour guys to the PGA Tour, which is still trying to calibrate itself and figure itself out. So we've got Scottie Scheffler. We're going to wait for him. The first 4 holes, there's a par 5 on hole 3, but there's no more par 5s until the back 9. So if he's going off early in the morning, ideally he would have been going off in the afternoon, so we could maybe hope for some guy to go super low on day 1. But if Scottie Scheffler goes backwards slightly, makes a bogey or 2 early, we're going to pounce. I think he wins this tournament. We can't bet him at 5.5 to 1. If he gets to 8, 9, ideally 10, we're going to pounce. It's going to take a lot for him to get to 10. So maybe he makes like an opening double, something weird early on. He's teeing off early, like 7:30 in the morning. So you never know what happens. We're going to be up and about waiting for Scottie Scheffler to play. If he does not suck early on, it only means that he's going to be in contention and looking to absolutely dominate this tournament. And I can't get behind any of these other guys when he's in this field in Texas, having played as well as he did in Mayakoba. I just couldn't get behind anyone. I was Scottie Scheffler or bust this week, and that's kind of how we're going to roll. I don't know why. It's just going to be how it's going to be. We're going to play him in 100% of our DFS lineups because he's going to win this tournament. That's just how it's going to be for me. And Chalk has been smashing lately, so why the hell not play 30% owned Scottie Scheffler when everything about his game makes complete sense for this golf course? I mean, if you just look how well he plays on the hard courses out of everyone that's played at this, from the PGA Tour players, he's one of the best on hard courses. His approach play is super solid. His ball striking is phenomenal. He's got distance. He's got accuracy. The combination of those give him the 18th best good drives gained in the field. Life is good in Scottie land. I think he's going to play well here. Cheers to Scottie. Cheers to the Jets. Let's see what we can get up to. Next up. Oh, my man Gui. Tony, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you are here. We love to have you. Thank you for joining. Thanks for catching us live. We just spent the last 14 minutes talking about Scottie Scheffler and a bunch of random stuff. So you haven't really missed too much, but apart from the winner and why we're picking him this week. We're going to wait for him. We're going to grab him when he goes bogey, and then we're going to move on. Next up in the model, second-ranked guy, Sam Burns. Another guy, the only guy in this field to have recorded 2 top 10s at this venue in the two times they've played here. So he's got a very good course history, as you can see by number 4 here. He's played exceptionally well at this venue. His driver is phenomenal. We love all of that. It is why we like ourselves some Sam Burns. His recent approach, his recent play, second in the field in 2023. Like, we love to see that. 2 off the tee. He's been playing nicely off the tee as well. His baseline off the tee stuff is great. He doesn't play his best golf on hard courses, but he does do some good stuff on me. I'm looking at Tony Finau instead of Sam Burns. He does actually really well on hard courses. So his ball striking also absolutely keeps him in the mix, and he's putting on Bermuda greens. Sam Burns is going to be a really good play this week. He's got great course history here, dominates the par fives, the whole shebang. Now, if we take a peek here, this column right here is fringe proximity. So when you're chipping, we're going to dissect strokes gained around the green is made up of fringe, rough, and sand. Like I said, there's not a lot of bunkers on this course. I'm not too concerned about that. We're going to go with fringe and rough as our two predominant around the green proximity things that we want to lean on for our guys. And neither Sam and Scottie are that great around the fringe, but they not too bad around the green in general. Scottie's really good out the rough. So we've got that going for him there. Sam is one of the best putters in the world. So he's going to be doing great. Yes, Brian's taking a peek early at the model. He sees a rye. I don't know. We're going to get to him. The model likes him, but I'm not sure I do. We'll take a peek. Probably from a betting perspective. At that price, maybe we go to him a bit more. But from a betting perspective, we're going to get to him here shortly. Tony Finau, he's also not too shabby of a play, because the thing is, he came back from his first like tournament that he played at Mayakoba, missed the cut on the number, made a triple bogey on his second hole, rattled off a bunch of birdies. This golf course suits his off the tee prowess, but he's not the best at hard courses typically. So if you're looking for a random reason to fade one of these top four guys, he's got the worst strokes gained on hard courses out of the top five guys, which is Aaron Wise, Hideki Matsuyama, Sam Burns, and Scottie Scheffler in my model. We'll see what he can get up to, though. He's maybe still a little bit rusty. Who the heck knows? You know, he's a great ball striker. He's just everything about his game seems to make a lot of sense here. The putting, bit of a letdown, but if he's going to ball strike his way to success, the putter doesn't necessarily have to cooperate that much, even though the stats say they need to. I'm not a big fan of Tony Finau. I think I'd probably lean Sam Burns and Scottie Scheffler over him. Keep an eye out for some ownership. If it's, I don't know, Sam and Scottie are going to be one of the two highest owned guys this week. Hideki Matsuyama, if you take a peek at his recent off-the-tee stuff, is 84th in this field. It's no bueno. He's got phenomenal course history here. He's going to be roughly double-digit owned. I don't know if that is the kind of Hideki Matsuyama play we want. He's really, really good out of the rough when it comes to proximity stuff out of the rough and in general. From 125 to 225, he's inside the top 10 for both departments. But his proximity around the green when he's chipping from the fringe isn't necessarily the best, but none of these guys up top here. We're still trying to figure out how much the stat actually makes any sense, but we're going to see a lot of these tight light chips. So just gives us an idea of who's going to do what from where. But I'm not a big fan of Hideki Matsuyama. He's always had those withdrawal issues. He's always had all that stuff going on. It's a bit of a mess, so we're going to skip on by him. Aaron Wise, looking like he's 23% owned, which is very much makes sense. And if you look at he's playing phenomenal golf. He's sixth in the field in recent form this year in 2023 season. Off the tee, he's super, super sharp. He plays really good golf on hard courses, thinking back to Memorial. So there's all sorts of the Memorial tournament at whatever that course was, with the tough venue that John Rahm usually plays well at. So that kind of a course could translate to this kind of venue, and Aaron Wise does really good there. So that's going to be why a lot of people do Aaron Wise. He's also going to be $1,600 cheaper than Scottie Scheffler. So that's kind of what's cooking over there. He's got a lot to like about his game, but he hasn't on the comp courses that we've got, which are Sedgefield. We've got what are our comp courses? Silverado Resort and Spa, TPC Scottsdale, and Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Those are our comp courses for this week, and he's not typically the best from there. So bear that in mind for 23% ownership. Maybe that's something to kind of leave alone if you're going to want to lean Sam Burns over Aaron Wise at $800 more. Next up is Taylor Montgomery. And he's our first bet of the day. It's just a top 20, top 40 show, unless we get a Scottie Scheffler 8-1 that shows up miraculously while we're on here, and we're not even looking at the odds, so who even knows? But Taylor Montgomery is plus 155. Check what I've done here now, folks. This is a brand new. You don't even know what's going on because this is new. Unless you've watched the show in like a replay type environment. But we've got a new little situation here where we've seen what these guys have done for us betting-wise all time, what we've done in 2022. And we haven't bet Taylor Montgomery too much because the model hasn't quite pulled him in yet. But if you take a look at his starts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and all 5 of them are inside the top 20. It's a 3rd, a 9th, a 15th, a 13th, and a 10th. Holy crap. Is that some seriously good golf fresh on the PGA Tour? He's plus 155 on FanDuel, top 20. He hasn't finished outside the top 20 yet. He's going to a course where his off-the-tee game is fantastic. The approach play has been a little bit of a concern. He isn't necessarily the best approach player in the world. He very much reminds me of Cam Smith prior to Cam becoming one of the best iron players in the world. He's exceptional at putting. He's gained 31 strokes. 31 strokes in the recorded rounds that he's played, and that's including the Farmers. So if we just do the 4 rounds that have been recorded, he's gained 27 in 16 rounds, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's played sensational golf. T13 at the CJ Cup, which was a big boy event. He played good golf there. So Taylor Montgomery, top 20, plus 155, FanDuel. Hello, let's go. Taylor Montgomery time. It is his time to shine. He's going to be quite popular in DFS world. I believe, I don't see Aaron Wise being. If Aaron Wise is going to garner all that ownership at 23% and Taylor Montgomery sitting around 15, 13, why the heck not go to him? He's 1 spot less than Aaron Wise in the model. He's a phenomenal player off the tee. Got awesome distance, and his short game is so very, very good. He's the best putter in the field by a landslide. Just everything about his game is amazing. He avoids bogeys well, and he's scrambling on the Corn Ferry Tour was also second out of all the guys that graduated. So we know what he's capable of when it comes to short game. And our boy Gui over here said, I followed Cam at the tournament that shall not be named, and it was incredible. Man, dude, I was so jealous. You said you were going to send me a video of Cam almost hitting you, so feel free to send that still. And I would love to see that. That was so freaking cool. I would love to see the guy play live. I know we won't mention that tournament name, but if it ever shows up nearby Chicago or something, I might zip on that way. Absolutely okay doing that. So, yes, Mark Hubbard is 7th in the model. So Taylor Montgomery, top 20 plus 155. FanDuel. Go grab one of those. Mark Hubbard, 7th in the model. Whew. Now, Mark Hubbard's also. So Hideki, the model suggested that we should bet Hideki at plus 120 for a top 20. If you look at Hideki's last few starts, 34th, 40th, 25th, 11th at the Tour Championship, which is only like 30 people anyway. T35 at the BMW Championship. WD, T68, miscut. The last time he played well was in freaking January, man. So, like, nothing about his game is on fire right now. I don't know what the deal is. He's just a problem for us. So, I'm not going to bet him at pretty much even money to finish inside the top 20 when his last 3 starts on the PGA Tour have not even been inside there in much crappier fields apart from the CJ Cup. So, no Hideki. Mark Hubbard on the same type of thing is a different consideration for us because it's telling us to bet Mark Hubbard for a top 20 at plus 410. So you're going to throw your $10 on him, turn it into $41 and your tenner back. So that's for a top 20. Mark Hubbard had a top 20 at the Sanderson Farms when he finished T5th. He finished T21 at the 40 net. He finished 4th and 3rd in the 2 alternate events at Barracuda and the Barbasol, and 13th at the John Deere Classic. So he's got a few top 20s under his belt, not super recently, but in the last little bit. His approach play is exceptional. Everything about that is just stunning. He's playing fantastic golf when it comes to the approach play. He's Off the tee game is a bit of a concern. The putter has gone ice cold recently, which explains a little bit of his deterioration. He went to the Zozo, which was in Japan, 66th place out of 78 people. Then he went to the Butterfield Bermuda, missed cut, which was in Bermuda, obviously. And then he went to Mayakoba in Mexico, missed the cut, barely, by one shot. But he's just missing the cut every single time. I don't know if plus 410 I don't know if he's showing enough for me to go to that number. We'll see. I'm going to think about it. I'll post it tomorrow. But if you're going to bet Mark Hubbard for top 20 at plus 410, just bet like half a unit. It's got enough risk-reward type return for you. He has been semi-profitable for us this year. He did cash a top 20 for us, I think, when he was at the Sanderson Farms, maybe. So we like that. We like that a lot. If he can get his approach play going at this course, we're going to go there. So that's what we like about Mark Hubbard. That's where we want to go with him. He's $7,100 also on FanDuel. I mean, DraftKings for DFS at 7% owned, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go play him in DFS. I don't even know if we're going to do the top 20 thing. I like a Taylor Montgomery 155 way more than that. I don't think Mark Hubbard's playing nearly as good as Taylor right now. In fact, Taylor Montgomery comes into the week playing the best golf out of everybody over the last 2023 season. So he leads the field in strokes gained in 2023, which is insane. I mean, 4 straight top 20s is going to do that for you. Keith Mitchell, model's telling us to bet him at plus 230 for a top 20. Keith Mitchell hasn't had a top 20 since the Travelers Championship. So that's not good. We don't really like that at all. And he doesn't have too many T20s in his recent history. Even starting this year, his best finish was a T32. Now, we did mention, if we are looking at what we want to do for a bet like this, at plus 230, I don't know. Maybe if it was like 350-ish, 300, we go to it because we know that the model likes Keith Mitchell here because of the off-the-tee stuff. He's one of the best off the tee recently. He plays medium courses well. The harder courses, not so hot. But off the tee baseline, he's 5th in the field. So everything about his game suits his golf course. His scrambling is kind of good. He's a really good putter. He dominates par 5s. He's 3rd in the field in par 5 scoring. And he's 8th in the field in scrambling. But we know that around the green game, it's 42nd. So 53rd, apologies. And he's 7th in scrambling. So that's what this new layout has got me all cockeyed. I need to keep scrolling to keep my eyes safe. But Keith Mitchell, 8th in scrambling, 8th in the model, doesn't have the best course history here. Okay on the comp kind of courses. We'll see. Off the tee game's doing all the work in the model. I don't know if we can get there. The model suggests things. We don't have to go there. I mean, the recent history is not that good. He doesn't look like he's showing us too much in a plus 230. I don't know if I can go there yet. So that's what's going on with Keith. Adam Hadwin is another interesting character. He might be... Now, can you see? We started betting Adam Hadwin the moment he started playing badly. So we got to Adam Hadwin a little too late. He's lost us 4.5 units betting on him. He's got a T10 at the Shriners and a bunch of made cuts since the 3M Open. The approach game has been absolutely lost ever since the John Deere Classic. The guy, I think that's when we started betting on him, and he's gained only in 2 events. So he's basically averaging half a stroke. He's only gained like 3.8 strokes on approach in all of those starts. So that's not very good at all. And one of them, he gained 5.5 strokes. So it was all in that round, but he's been just losing perennially. The putter's hot and cold. At plus 280 for a top 20. Oof. I don't know. Look at this off the tee stuff. He hasn't gained off the tee in the last 6 starts. The T32 at the Mayakoba Classic doesn't necessarily mean too much. No go for him. So we just kind of dissecting what the model's suggesting, and then we move on. Russell Henley's at $10,000 in DFS. He's going to be probably a little more popular than people expect because especially after the win, this golf course suits his accuracy off the tee. He hits a lot of greens. We love to see that from Russell. He's the best approach player in the field. what can he get up to? Is he going to show up with, I mean, man, that putter was freaking phenomenal. Holy cow, you can't play that well again, can you? Putting that well out of nowhere. By the way, my boy, congratulations. One of my close friends who's not a major Twitter personality, but he's one of my best buddies. And he had Russell Henley at 60-1. So congratulations to you, my friend. I'm very excited for you. He's hit 3 winners this season. My boy should start doing some podcasting himself. The guy's out here just killing it. So congrats on an awesome start to your season, buddy. Who the hell are you playing this week? Let me know. So I actually do know. I can't remember who they were, but we'll go there. Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Got a little sidetracked. Russell Henley, I'm not interested in him. I don't know why. Just after a win at a course like this, I don't know. Like he plays okay on medium and hard courses, but I think after such a fantastic putting performance, we're looking for some regression. But he's the same thing as Scottie, but he's $10,000. No, can't do it. We got other guys we'll go to. Sahith Theegala, he doesn't play hard courses well at all. I don't know how many rounds that includes, but that's just how it goes. His accuracy off the tee is abysmal. His scrambling is pretty good, but he's going to have to do a lot of that because he's going to be hitting from some scary places at Memorial Park Golf Course. So we're going to have to watch out for Sahith Theegala. Plays the par 5s really nicely, which is a good play. He's been struggling recent form. You're coming into the event with the 28th best strokes gained total. You're sitting at $9,300, 11th in the model. The off the tee game has been a big concern, and just in general, the around the green stuff is a bit of a problem for him. What does he do? When he's chipping from the fringes, his proximity numbers is outside the top 40, but so are the boys that we really like at the top. So that doesn't necessarily mean everything, but it would be nice to see that that's good. But at 5-ish%, $9,300, I think Sahith might not be a terrible play, folks. He might not be a terrible play. Alex Noren, the model likes him. We like him, apparently. But at plus 240, top 20 for a top 20 there for Alex Noren. He hasn't showed us any top 20 performances in the last little while. Off the tee game, kind of been average. It's just everything about his game is not looking good. The model likes his long run stuff a lot more. I couldn't get behind that either. So no Alex Noren for us, not at $8,700. I don't know if this course is made for him. I'm not sold on Alex Noren. All right, let's get to Aaron Rai, my bye. So Brian over here said, happy to see Aaron Rai high up in the model. Loving this week. Let's get it. Whoop, whoop. Let's get it, bro. So at $7,500, 5-ish% owned, Aaron Rai is definitely going to be in the mix. You can't not play a guy who's in the model ranked this much better than everybody else in his price range. We've got Mark Hubbard, who's a few $100 cheaper than him, but we've seen what his recent history looks like. So we don't really want that too much. Aaron Rai on hard courses is much better. No, that's off the tee. It's actually much worse. He's 92nd in hard courses. So that's not good. But his good drives gained, he's second in the field. His distance is 10th. He is very, very good on approach right now. In 2023, he's 11th in the field. So that's what's going on with him. The model said we should bet him at plus 330 for a top 20. So this is getting a little more into the range where it's like, okay, plus 330 gives us like 3.5 chances to try and win this bet. Basically how you want to look at it. Give us 3 chances with some change. A miscut, T54, T36, T20. So his last 4 starts, he's had 1 T20. Plus 330. Hasn't had a, like that T20 would have been chopped up. So, I don't know. Aaron Rai, the approach play comes and goes. The off the tee stuff is just pretty solid. Nothing spectacular. I don't know. I can't pull the trigger on these bets right now. This fall season has been tough. It's been tough on us. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this stuff. So this was the Mayakoba Classic. These were our bets and stuff. And here is, we've got to brag a little bit on this channel because we need to self-promote. We in 2023 are up 7.3 units thanks to an outright from Tom Kim. We're also 2.6 units up on the year for the season thanks to a good clean sweep of our 2 bets that we placed over Harris English last week. We had Dietrich and Damon over Harris English, so they both killed him, even though Harris English shot -7 to start the round. So that was impressive. We lost money on our placing side of things, and Nick Hardy was very close to winning the goddamn tournament, but the rest of the field had a full round still to go. He went and made 8 birdies in a row. So this guy's definitely on the radar. He's playing some good golf, folks. And then you know what? He saved our bad odds that should have come out if he finished top 10, and he made 3 straight bogeys, killed a few of our DFS lineups, and probably helped us with a few odds for the next time when he plays. Moving on swiftly. Aaron Rai, $7,500. I feel like that kind of play, he's going to make the cut for you. I think he's going to make the cut, which is what you want from a guy, $7,500. You know, the good drives gained, the accuracy, all of that stuff. I don't know. I just can't get to him on that bet. So we're going to leave him alone in the betting part. $7,500. So we're absolutely going to go to him there. Maverick McNeely was one of our sneaky plays last week. I didn't even mention him too much on the podcast because he kind of went under the radar on me. But once I checked his course history and all of that jazz, he was playing really well at Mayakoba. He putts fantastically. He dominates par 5s. And Maverick McNeely's one of the best putters in 2023. He is, in fact, the best putter in 2023. He's out-putted Taylor Montgomery, and he's out-putted Adam Long, who's been playing really, really good golf thanks to his putter. But Mav, everything else is not too hot. You know, we're going to come to a course like this where you look at his success at hard courses as 56th in the field. We don't know if we like that. You know, off the tee is typically not too bad, but recently just everything about his ball striking in this field is a below average. So we don't really like his ball striking, and he's going to be 15% owned at a tough golf course like this, but he did play well. He's got the 13th best course history at this venue. So Maverick McNeely, $9,400, 15% owned. We might have to look elsewhere. Where would be an ideal pivot for Mav McNeely? Maybe a little bit of Taylor Montgomery. You know, that might be where we go. Jason Day's not even going to be a pivot because he's going to be quite popular after he's just been scorched earth with the on approach. So it's going to be tough to find some pivots in this $9,500 range. In fact, let's quickly take a peek here. Okay, $9,500 range. We got Sahith. That's going to be a ballsy play. He's going to be one of the lowest owned guys in this range. Absolutely. He's also, if you look at the comp courses that he's played at, he's got the 6th best comp course history. The course history are not so hot. If you're going to want to play a bit of Sahith at $9,300, why the heck not do that? You can pair him with like a Maverick McNeely. That would get you to about an average of 10% ownership there, which is fine. You know, that's okay. So take a look at Sahith with some of these guys here. He might be a good little cheap addition to the lineups that you're looking to build, and we go from there. So back to what we were getting up to at the bottom of the thing here. Taylor Pendrith is going to be quite popular just because he's a very good driver of the golf ball, making sure we don't miss any of our guys that we're supposed to be betting on. We haven't done that yet. So Taylor Pendrith's doing good. The fairway greening regulations is just exceptional. He hits it so very far, and he's really good with his wedges. So he's going to be having he should be successful at this venue, although his course history is 90th in the field, not very good. So we'll see. You know, the off the tee stuff is his only saving grace right now. He doesn't play hard courses very well. The bogey avoidance and par 5 scoring is okay. Nothing too scary or exciting there. He's also going to be like double digits owned. So I don't know if you want to do that. In case you want a little different angle, Siwoo Kim is one spot in the model below him at 16th, and he's about half the ownership, and he's only $300 more at $8,800. So Siwoo Kim, his putter has been doing some weird stuff. We've seen he's gone to the broomstick. It dominated at the President's Cup. It doesn't look like it's performing that well this season. But with those kind of changes, there's always optimism that you can be on a Siwoo Kim, who's actually pretty good when it comes to ball striking. He's actually not too shabby. He's actually not too bad at all when it comes to strokes gained total. 6% owned, under 10% owned Siwoo Kim at $8,800. Who the heck knows? Why not take a chance on him? We got some really chalky plays. We're going to need some leveraged positions here. So Siwoo Kim, take a chance on the putter. You can ball strike this course to death. You don't have to necessarily have the hottest putter. You just have to make your pars and move on. Dominate the par fives, which guess what? Siwoo Kim, 14th in the field in par five scoring. Hello, hello. And we've said the 3 par fives are there, and there's 4 par fours that are 490 plus. So those are important. Got to remember that. So we've ramped up the par 5 scoring. That's why Siwoo's up there. Matthew Neesmith's going to be very popular around him. He's entering this week with incredible form. We were on him for an outright, I believe, at one of the last 2 events that he played. Everything about his game is looking good, man. His irons have just been scintillating. The whole shebang there. The par 5 scoring for him typically not that amazing. So what's his distance like off the tee? Yeah, it's not the longest hitter. And his accuracy is okay, all things considered, but his approach play is very, very good. When it comes to around the green play, Matthew Neesmith's okay. Nothing to write home about. I would go with Siwoo Kim in this range. 16th ranked. It's a pivot player. I don't know. Neesmith, course history, nothing spectacular. Yeah, he's not playing as good as he is now when he did play here last time, but I'll go Siwoo. Kevin Streelman. Hello, Kevin Streelman, 18th ranked golfer in the back 9 bets model maniac model, and he is plus 190 for a top 40. Plus 190 for a top 40. He's played 5 events in the season, and he's finished 59th, T24, T20, T74th at the Zozo, so he pretty much finished last there. And then he missed the cut at the Mayakoba Classic. Wow. He missed he lost 11.4 strokes at the Zozo, and then he missed the cut by losing 6 strokes at Mayakoba. That's not ideal. That's not ideal. Is he just go on vacation and just party it up? The good old Streelmobile? Fire that bad boy up and go on a martini bender? But a top 40 at almost 2-to-1 odds for Kevin Streelman, who seems like he can do that here. What do we like about his game coming into this week? He's pretty steady off the tee, which is ideal for a course like this. The approach play is very middling, and he's had a few in the top. When he's finished 20th and 24th, he's had a good around the green game or a good putting game that week. So he's had 2 real shockers in the last little while. So maybe he comes back from man, why is there always something that's a concern? And maybe that's why he's plus 190 to finish inside the top 40. But we'll take our chances here on him. We'll see what goes on. We'll see. I mean, those two top 30s at the Shriners and the Sandersons is exactly what we're looking for from him. If we can get a repeat performance like that at Memorial Golf Course in Houston, Texas, that'll be ideal at plus 190 for a top 40. Kevin Streelman. We're going to play that bet. I don't know why. Those last 6 rounds he's played is very, very bad. But we'll ignore those, and hopefully he takes care of business for us in Texas. Emiliano Grillo. Man, we just cannot get this guy right. We were on him when he finished 5th. He was super close to winning that freaking tournament. Made the snowman on that par 5, and that was that. We've been chasing him ever since. He missed out on the top 20 for us. He played 3 really good rounds of golf and shot over par in round 3. So nothing you can do about that. He had a great round 4, so I hope you played him in Showdown. But Emiliano Grillo doesn't play a hard golf course as well at all. But you'd imagine that this course sets up well for his game, apart from the around the green stuff, which is a bit of a problem for him. So $9,100 if you're looking for a pivot off of, who the heck was that other guy, that Maverick McNeely? I think you could probably go there because they kind of playing similar golf, if you ask me. and he's going to be less owned than Mav. So in a DFS world, we can go back to him instead of Mav. He's going to have to lean on his ball striking because the around the green game is hot garbage for this guy. But he's been showing some good form. You know, he's 20th in the field entering this week. I don't mind him. Somebody that's interesting. Next up is Gary Woodland. He's $7,000, 7% owned. The model's telling us to bet him at plus 140 for a top 40. We don't really see too many 40s or better in his recent resume, folks. And that's a bit of a concern. The CJ Cup, 67th. Withdrew at the Shriners. He was actually gaining strokes there. So anytime he was playing good golf, he withdrew. That's not good. Sanderson Farms, missed the cut. 40 net, T64. So, you know, we don't really know what's going on with him. His off the tee play is going to be phenomenal. That's why we love him at this course. He lost 10.2 strokes around the green at the CJ Cup. What? How do you do that? How are you that bad around the greens? Yeesh. I mean, everything else about he gained ball striking. Obviously, that's what he does. But man, it is brutal for Gary Woodland. What on earth was he doing at the CJ Cup losing 10.2 strokes? So a top 40 for him doesn't look likely based off his track record, but what about his game interests us? From a DFS perspective, he's going to be 7% owned for 7K. I understand that. He's most likely going to be a cut maker for you at that price, which is fine. 7% ownership. Maybe you do like a Martin Laird instead. You'll get to him in a short minute. But Gary Woodland's putting has been very, very bad. He's typically a good scrambler. He's typically a good putter. I don't know what he's doing. He's not bad around the fringe. He's okay out of the rough. His proximity numbers aren't bad out of the rough either. You know, his approach play is solid. His driving accuracy is bald bad, but he's got that distance vibe that we love to see and dominates these tough courses. So, all right, Gary, we'll bite. Why the hell not? We'll bite at plus 140 for a top 40 for Gary Woodland. FanDuel, I believe. FanDuel or DraftKings, one of the two. He is plus 140 for a top 40. Hopefully he can get that figured out. I think he can lean on the ball striking here. Hopefully he doesn't lose another double digits around the green. Good God. That was nightmarish stuff there. Andrew Putnam, $8,600, 8% owned, 21st in the model, the best scrambler in the field. 21st in putting, 14th in bogey avoidance, 14th in putting in the 2023 season. And he's the 11th best player entering the week for the 2023 season. So he's doing some good stuff. He's going to be $8,600, 8% owned. Who the hell is also around there? So yeah, if you want to look at like a little Andrew Putnam instead of Matthew Neesmith, I wouldn't mind a little bit of that love. He's not playing nearly as good, and I don't think he's as good a course fit here, but this guy's short game is tidy. And if he does have a strength like that, which isn't as weighted as heavily at a venue like this, he can lean on the short game to keep just scrambling and making pars. He didn't quite make it work at the CJ Cup, but we kind of like him here. So we'll play a little bit of Andrew Putnam at $8,600. Denny McCarthy's $9,200, 9% owned, 22nd in the model, got a decent course history here. Plays hard courses very well, I guess. So he's very good at scrambling. I like Denny as a play. I do like Denny McCarthy, actually. So let's do some Denny love, $9,200. Let's do it. Yeah, Denny McCarthy. All we need to see is that good course, hard course rating, and the scrambling is second. He's second to Andrew Putnam. He's one of the best putters in the field. So love to see that from Denny. I think he's going to do good stuff at this course. Martin Laird is one of our final three guys that we're going to bet for a top 40 here. He is plus 175 to finish inside the top 40. He's got 2 top 40s in his last 3 starts, which is lovely. Thank you for that. He started off the season with 2 missed cuts. It looked like the putter was causing a bit of issues early on. Yes, it was. He had a bit of a around the green malfunction in his second missed cut to start the season, but since then he's finished T45, T37th, and T15th, which is ideal for a guy at plus 175, top 40. I like a little bit of Martin Laird action. What does he do on hard golf courses? He's very, very bad. That's not good. But his good drives gained is solid. He's actually very tidy when it comes to around the green game from the fringe. He's one of the better scramblers in the field. So maybe he can take care of business for us. Also, $7,200, 3% owned as of right now, per the crappy ownership projections that I've got. Martin Laird. Why the hell not take a little Martin Laird action at $7,200? Love him there. Patrick Rogers, I just have never played him ever, and he's been hurting us lately. He's been playing quite nicely. He's inside the top 20 in recent form. Our guy, Lee Hodges, finally getting some love. 13% owned, $7,600. Lee Hodges, man. He's negative odds for a top 40, so we couldn't even go to him there. He's been great. He's been a very good staple for us in DFS, cheap, and he's finished inside the top 20 the last few times he's played. Even at the CJ Cup, look at this recent form, 17th in the field. Approach play has been dialed. Absolutely love that about the guy. The proximity numbers from the fairway, very, 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 very nice here. And he chips well from off the green when it comes to the fringe stuff, you know. So he's 17th from fringe proximities. Love to see that, and avoids bogeys better than 3/4 of the field. So Lee Hodges at $7,600 is going to be very popular. That sucks because we like him, and I don't know if we want to go there at that ownership. Who would we do? Maybe like some Justin Lower instead of Lee Hodges. You know, he's $200 cheaper, $7,400, and he's been doing pretty much the same thing as Lee. So I'm okay for some Justin Lower instead of Lee Hodges. Next up, we got Jason Day, $9,500, 13% owned. Everybody's going to go to Jason Day this week. Look at this approach numbers. Look at what he can get up to on hard courses. You know, it's typically better than what he does on medium courses. So when it comes to scrambling and short game, we know Jay Day is the man. Not the best in the world anymore, but you never know. When a guy like this is hitting his irons that well, it could spill over into the rest of his game. He's $9,500, 13% owned. He's going to be it's not really providing a pivot opportunity. He's not really that chalky in that range. He's not really doing much, you know, so he's just one of those guys that's just in that $9,500 range. If you like him, especially on the approach side of things, the ball striking's been great. He's 36th off the tee and 5th on approach this year. So we'll see what his short game can get up to. That's the big thing. But a Jason Day is always a WDOA Jason Day. And the more owned he is, the more chance you never know. So maybe we don't play a Jason Day because of the ownership thing at a WD. That's what's going on with Jason Day. We want to talk about James Hahn. Yes, what's going on, James Hahn? $6,700, 2% owned. And this guy is the 12th best player when it comes to difficult golf courses. 23rd in scrambling, 29th in bogey avoidance, 12th in hard golf courses, and he's 12th and 6th in off the tee and approach play in 2023. $6,700, 2% owned, and the model told us to bet James Hahn at plus 230 for a top 40. He hasn't had a top 40 recently, but I tell you what, his short game is a catastrophic liability. He was at one point on Friday, he was -7 and looking like he was in absolute contention for the weekend in Mayakoba. And I think he went 7 over par promptly thereafter. I can't remember what the hell was the cut, but he absolutely disintegrated on the back nine. He is the winner of this week's back nine blowout, James Hahn. We never had any exposure to him, luckily, but we did eye him out, especially at that golf course. James Hahn, his last few starts have been very, very nice off the tee. He's just gaining strokes he's ball striking himself into contention and into making the cut. Let's see what he can get up to. It's going to be dodging a bad short game, but with someone's ball striking ability and the good scoring on these difficult courses. He's 12th in the field on hard courses. So the less birdies he has to make, the better, because his birdie percentages is crap. His bogey avoidance is very, very nice. So he's just got average distance. His good drives gained, he's 20th. So ball striking, all there for James Hahn. $6,700, 2% owned. Yes. Hello, James Hahn. Pink City. Let's go. So love some James Hahn action here. Adam Long, look at this ball striking. This guy enters the, I don't know what's going on. He was a big chalky play for a lot of people last week. Good course history. Just the recent form's just not there, and he's relying on the second best putter in the field in order to get his job done. He's outside the top 100 off the tee and on approach. So none of that's good for him. Excuse me. But he's very, very good when it comes to putting. I don't know if I like him at this venue, especially at double-digit ownership. Alex Smalley, on the other hand, I don't know about him either. 9% ownership. We are going to actually chat about him because the model decided to tell us to play Alex Smalley for a top 40 at plus 165. And you know what? I can get behind this bet because his last few starts, T44, T43, miscut, T25, T52, T11. So Alex Smalley's game seems like it's kind of moving in the right direction. The off-the-tee stuff at the FedEx St. Jude Classic Championship was disastrous, but plus 165 for a top 40 for Alex Smalley at this course. Let's go. I like that for him here. I need to find his stats, and the putter is what he leans on the most, apparently. He does well on the hard courses, 32nd in the field. Proximity numbers from the fairway look tidy from 28th in the field there. So we love to see that. The bogey avoidance is also 37th in the field, top 40 there. All good stuff. If you're going to see a lot of acceptable stats inside the top 40, let's go. Alex Smalley, top 40. Plus what? Plus 165. So that's our final top 40 bet. That's our final little guy we're going to go over for the day. Me and Ron, PGA Splits 101, tomorrow we'll be going over the majority of these DFS plays. We'll break down the slate, and then we'll give you a few more pointers on that aspect of things. But this was a little bit more ownership, betting-centric. One more guy that we do have to mention before we leave the show is Dean Burmester. We got him at 95 to 1 on FanDuel. He's just like a sprinkle play. We're going for Scottie Scheffler at the end of the day. If he gets to 8 to 1, Scottie's our guy. Dean Burmester, why do we like him? Let's quickly try and find his name here, and then we go over him quickly because he's an outright. This is a betting show. He is at 95 to 1. And if you take a look at his recent form, he's 8th in the field of the last few rounds. He's played 12 of them in 2023, and he's 8th. His off-the-tee game is awesome. Very, very handy off the tee. Plays okay on hard courses. He's played on the European Tour. He's played in South Africa. He hits that 2-iron like a sizzling salami slicer. It's beautiful. He hits the driver very, very nicely. The distance thing, I don't know why it says 57th. He's one of the longest guys on tour. So that's nice for him, but maybe he's putting out that 2-iron a lot more than normal. The approach play is a bit of a problem, but he's very, very tidy when it comes to scrambling. Around the green, he's 3rd. Putting, he can putt very well. 7th in the field. I don't know. These are stats from the European Tour that I've meshed into what's going on the PGA, but his scrambling is very good. His proximities from the fringe has been fantastic. So that's nice. Dean Burmester, $7,600, 14% owned. Hello. That's probably why. So he's going to be 95 to 1 to win this tournament. I don't know what the best odds are out there for him right now, but if you can go grab yourself like a 70 or something on Dean, feel free. If not, take your time. Wait for Scottie Scheffler to make a bogey or two early on. Hopefully he doesn't wake up until the back 9 on Thursday morning. And then we've got ourselves a Scottie Scheffler ticket at a course that suits him to the T. So that's what's cooking there. Those are the bets. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have yourself a fantastic Tuesday evening. Have a fantastic Wednesday if you're listening to this on a Wednesday. And make the rest of the week count. Have a good freaking night. Be a good person. Make somebody else's life better. Make your life better. Go take a walk. Drink the Drano. The whole shebang. So, that concludes Back 9 Bets, episode 42. Stalling for Scottie. And we will catch you guys next week. Lintic you out.